It's strength in finding resilience beyond your circumstances. What is up, you guys? I'm Zakia Monet, and welcome to the Finding Your Way podcast, where we share stories about hardships and share ways to not let our circumstances define us. Like you, we just here to find our way. What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Finding Her Way podcast, where we talk about real life shit. I'm your host, Zakia. I go by Zakia Monet on all social media platforms. And again, welcome. In this episode, I don't have a topic. We're just going to be talking about a whole lot of shit. Because in this, I got a whole list of notes. So when I came up with this idea for this podcast, I had the name, I had, a lot of the stuff, the description, what I wanted to talk about. Well, who I wanted to reach was the first thing I had. But I had a whole list. I wrote in a whole list of topics that I wanted to speak on. And right now, I'm just not feeling talking about none of those topics this week. I just really want to talk about real life shit because I feel like I do, every once in a while, I do these videos where I just rant and vent and just talk about everything. But I just really want to talk about some real life shit today. I know in every episode, it is real life shit, but I just really want to talk about current events and things going on. The trauma is gonna be there. The trauma ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be there. So I really just want to take this episode to talk about real life shit. Today, I really debated. Today is usually the day that I release the episodes, and so I've really been I've been dragging a lot when it comes to the podcast these last 2 weeks. And it's just I just been having a lot of shit going on, being a mom, trying to show up for, any and everything, my nieces and nephews, helping out with them, making sure I get that time in with them, making sure they're feeling, seen and heard, and they're getting attention, and I can't fill the void of their father, but I'm trying to do whatever I can to help out. So having that role, and then being a sister, the oldest of 7 kids, and trying to figure out ways that I can be better as a sibling, and step in when I can, and I feel like we all have this vision that when we make it, we just want to make sure our people are straight. And when I say people, I just want to make sure I'm talking about my siblings, because those are that's gonna be my tribe. And so I have siblings that are as youngest as the youngest is how old is she? The youngest is 3 or 4. And so I'm trying to do my best in figuring out ways to stay connected, doing what I can, whether that's sending money or anything I can do to help. That's just what I'm on right now. And when I say I'm focusing on them, it's because I feel like I don't have the family structure that I want, so I'm trying to create it within us. And so although they're way younger than me, they are still close in age to my kids and my niece and nephew. So I do want them to build a relationship. And so when I think of me and my success, I'm thinking long term, thinking about accounts for all the kids. I'm thinking about a big old house to where everybody have their own quarters. I'm thinking about a big old piece of things. So that's been on my mind heavily. And then it's just you got people incarcerated, family members that are incarcerated, to try to make sure that they're good, they're okay. It's just a lot of real life shit. It's a lot of real life shit. And today, I struggled so bad with wanting to do this episode today, because it's just out of nowhere, I just felt so sick. I don't feel good at all. I know I look a mess. I try to put some little flips or whatever in my hair, but it just turned out how it turned out. And it's just I debated. I had set everything up to record, and then it was just I'm not gonna record today. I'm just not feeling it. Fuck it. And so I turned everything off. I turned my lights off. I stopped recording. Well, I didn't even record. I just set up my tripod. And so I set everything up, and then I just turned everything off. had to use the bathroom. So while I'm in the bathroom, I was starting to edit like content that I need to go ahead and put out that I've been sitting on. So I said I'm just gonna go ahead and edit content today, because I at least want to do something productive. Like, I think that's the problem with a lot of us. Like, we feel like if we're not doing anything, we don't have anything going on. So anyway, let me get back to the topic. So I started editing, but then it was just like something just kept, like, I feel like it was God. Like, I feel like he was just telling me to keep going and just do it anyway. Do it sick, do it scared, do it fear. Like, either way, do it. This is what you said you wanted. You said you wanted to reach these people. You said you wanted this community. You said you wanted this big old lavish thing going on. You want this big nonprofit. You want this, like, you want all this stuff. So how are you going to how are you going to reach that? How are you going to reach your goals? Or how are you going to reach these people if you're not recording and you're not being on top of your stuff and you're not staying consistent? And so, like, right now, I'm just showing up sick and all. So I think that's my message for this week, just to show up. And I also want to say, in showing up, get your rest too. Like, I feel like it's so important to have days where, like, you plan out. I feel like Sundays are for planning, and then like on Sundays you can plan out when you want to do all of this stuff. You don't have to do a lot in one day. But you plan out the days that you want to do stuff, and then you also plan the days that you need to get your rest, because that is so important. You cannot drive off of fuel. You can't, like, you're not going anywhere. You're in park. You can't do anything. And so I feel like I was just feeling like like, before I turned this camera on, I was just feeling like I'm drained, like I'm on a low energy. Like, I don't have any fuel to keep going, but God just told me to show up, and so I'm showing up. And that's a big message in my life, period, because I feel like I've lacked in showing up for a lot of things. It's just like so many things have been on my mind, y'all. Like, so many things has just been on my mind. Like, I feel like I haven't been showing up in the way that I need to, and that's what I'm working on. While I told you I'm reading like different chapters of the Bible, I'm starting all over, and so I'm starting from the beginning. And so now I finished Exodus, and now I'm going to the next chapter next month. So every month I do a chapter in the Bible. And so while I'm on this journey of, learning God and learning who he is and talking and growing my relationship with him, I'm trying to learn how to be the best version of myself that I can be in the spiritual realm. And, like, forgiving and, letting stuff go and showing up and doing all these other things, because I realize, like, sometimes I really don't show up. Like, I be so consumed in my life and all the shit that I got going on that I really don't show up. Like, I don't feel like I'm the best sibling. I don't feel like I'm the best friend. I don't feel like I'm the best mom right now. I don't feel like I'm the best me. I feel like I'm just running off of low energy and low fuel, like, to the point where I feel like I don't really have anything to give, but I do want to change that. And I feel like I can change that by, planning my self-care days and doing things like that. So I do intend to make those designated days every month, whether it's once a month. Like, at least I want to do it once a month. And so that's what I'm going to do something for myself once a month and make sure that I tend to myself in every way possible. And I feel like that'll help me, show up in other areas of my life. I feel like I haven't been showing up really in therapy as well. So I feel like that'll really, help me, give me a push to do what I need to do. Hold on, y'all. Like, my throat feels so bad. My baby had his first fashion show yesterday, and he did so good, y'all. Like, my baby, he was like, he of course, like, your kids gonna have a, like, they're gonna show their personality around you, but of course, like, when they get in front of people, or certain kids, because certain kids, like, they're not, all kids are not like that, but my kid, he's very shy in front of a lot of people. So yesterday, he really got out of his shell. Like, this whole, leading up to it, it's been like a prep talk. I've been prep talking him, making sure he was okay, making sure he was good. And I almost didn't let him do it because before I even paid for anything, before I even went out and got everything he needed for the show, I asked him, was it something that he really wanted to do? And he told me he wanted to do it. So I'm thinking, okay. So this theme was for the fashion show was sports. So they had a professional look, and then they had like the professional look was like pregame, like how the players show up for the game days, and then you had the sport that you wanted to play. So we did baseball, and well, I asked him, do you want to do baseball, anything like that? Like, what do you want to do? And he said, yeah. And so leading up to the fashion show, I asked him again. I was like, you okay? You good? You still want to do it? And I said, do you still want to do it? And he was like, no. Before I even asked him that, he was like, Mommy, I don't think I want to do it anymore. I said, what's going on? Wait, how did that conversation go? I think I did ask him. I said, are you okay? You good? How you feeling? And then that's when he said, I don't think I want to do it anymore. And I said, what's going on? And he was like, I only did it because I thought you wanted me to do it. And so at that moment, it was just like, damn, like, do I really be pushing things off on my child? Like the sports thing, like from like, I feel like it made me think, do I be, how do I want to say it? It made me think, like, do I put a lot of pressure on my child? And so when he said that, I was just like, I felt really bad. In that moment, I was just like, I don't want you to ever feel like you have to do anything to make me happy. I want everything you to do to be for you. But when I said that, it was just like, he said, okay. He said, okay, I understand. I was like, you understand? He was like, yeah, I understand. And then he was just like, okay, I'm gonna still do it. And so I'm thinking, okay. So I really almost backed him out. But in that moment, it was just like, I can't keep letting him do that. Because a lot of times I let him quit on things. And that was my problem too. I let him quit on a lot of things, like especially sports, any sport, I let him quit if he wasn't feeling it. And you, like, I'm not saying like you should force your child to do anything, but I feel like letting your child quit everything is like giving them like the okay to quit on life. I feel like it's the same correlation. Fighting with your mama, arguing with your mama. I feel like it's the same correlation. It's the same correlation. So I feel like when you allow them to keep quitting on things, it's just giving them the leeway to feel like they can quit on, like they can just like it's no structure there. They're gonna keep quitting on things because it's just gonna be a continuous cycle. And so in that moment, it was like, I'm not gonna let him quit on this. Like I really, like, in that moment, I decided instead of it being like just a show off thing, I wanted this to show him, like, I wanted this to push him to be confident in himself. Like I wanted this to push him to have this confidence, because I feel like sometimes like he doubts himself a lot, and I feel like that's why he wants to quit a lot of things, or maybe he don't like it or whatever, but I feel like that's why he quits a lot of things, because he doesn't feel like he's good or good enough. And so I just like do everything that I can to try to instill in him that, you know, like, whatever you do, be the best that you can be at it, you know? And so I wanted to take this fashion show and let him see like how great he is, and how like you can be your own person, do your own thing, and you know, it doesn't have to be a competition or anything like that, because then in his mind he turns everything into a competition. Like, what if they don't like me? What if they don't clap for me? Or what if they don't, you know, it became this whole thing. So I had to instill in him, like, I had to have a whole talk with him leading up to the fashion show. And yesterday, like, he did so good, and I'm just so proud of him. He just really came out of his shell. And like when he was up there, it was I was just like, today, like, reflecting, like, I'm proud of him. Like, he's inspiring me to, you know, like, push through and keep going and get out of my shell more. And although I'm a very outgoing person, I feel like sometimes I'm outgoing to an extent. Like, if I feel the energy isn't there, or if I feel the vibe ain't there, or in the room, like, I'm just not that. Like, you're gonna get to shut off me. I'm very observant, so I gotta scope the scenery out. And so, like, he really inspired me to, you know, do what I need to do for myself. But y'all, he did so good yesterday. He did so good, and I'm so proud of my baby. I'm so proud of him. He even, like, they had him record like a thing for one of the teachers. He did that. He did so good. And I'm just so proud of my baby. I'm just so proud of him. He inspires me every day to, you know, in different ways. When he get on my nerves, when he ain't trying me, because that's another thing too I want to talk about. This boy has been trying me. You hear me? Like, it's been to the point where, like, what's up? Do you want to go outside? Because he's just really been trying me, and I don't know if, like, it's this age. If this is the age where boys start testing the waters and testing their mamas. But I don't know, like, I'm only one parent. It's only one of me. Like, I don't give a damn, like, what nobody say. It's only one of me. It's only one of me. It's always been one of me. Always. So it's just like, I don't know if it's because he doesn't have that. So that's why, like, I wanted to, that was, like, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to put him in sports. So he could have, like, somebody like that. Somebody like a mentor or something, like something to connect him, like something to you know, I don't know, to keep him occupied outside the games, and something to have, like, somebody to connect with, like a male figure to connect with, and other boys to, you know, surround himself with. And so I do want to give, like, that another try. He's also been talking about doing other things. I guess he was looking at the he has been talking about the step team. So he has been talking about that. And then, like, my thing now is just making sure he doesn't quit and give up on himself. So that's, like, been my biggest thing before he does anything. And so we're just still having those conversations, and I'm just, like, he's really getting up there in age, and I'm really, like, soon going to have a teenager. And I'm just so scared. Like, I get so emotional thinking about it, because those teenage years are so scary. They are so, like, the path is unpredictable. Like, you'll never know what way they're gonna go. And so, yeah, it's just, it's a trying time in them teenage years. So I understand that completely. I had 2 kids before I was 18, so I understand that completely. I get it. And so it's just, like, me just trying to figure out, like, the path for him, and what is the best way that I can show up as a parent to make sure I'm doing my best, that he doesn't have to have a childhood to continue to heal from. Like, I am his childhood. How I show up and the things that I do, that is his childhood. Like, I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. So and I feel like that's another reason why it's so important for me to do what I need to do in order for us to get to the next level. And in doing that, I feel like I'm also torn between that, because for a long time it's been me and my phone, like, trying to make money off my phone, and it was like, it's been working out for me, but that comes at a cost of me not having the time to spend with my son. And that's what's leading him to, you know, be on his tablet a lot and do all these other things. And so I'm just trying to switch it up. Like, I'm trying to show up to more events in his school more, because before I couldn't do it. Either it was work or I had to do other stuff to try to make some money. So it was just, like, a lot. And so now I'm just trying to get in mommy mode and show up. Like, just show up, period. Because it's not always about giving him stuff and spoiling him, because that's what I've always done. Like, just throwing money at the problem, or just whenever he needed something, or whenever he wanted something, not needed. Whenever he wanted something, it's always been here just to make him happy. And that's just, like, I feel like I'm just trying to make up for what he's been through, and I can't do it in that way. So, and I can't just always throw money at the problem. So I'm just trying to be a better woman, period. I'm just trying to be a better woman, period. I feel like, yeah, we're gonna get deep. We're gonna get deep, because there's some things I need to talk about. It's some things that I really just feel like I be holding back on speaking on, because it just be like, I don't know what it be. but maybe somebody can relate, maybe not. But I just feel like it's important for me to say what I need to and not hold back on this podcast, because that's the point of making the podcast. It was just like to talk about what I've been through, talk about healing, talking about the next process in life, and the next like what's new for me, what's next for me, like what's next for you, like us figuring this shit out together and building a community, and a community of transparency. And so, like, I've really been having like a tough time, and I feel like when you get tested a lot, that's when your breakthrough comes. But in the testing part, like, it's just I ain't feeling it. Like, why it always gotta be a test? Like, why it always gotta be? God, I ain't questioning you. I ain't questioning you at all. But I'm just like, come on now. Like, your girl is tired. I'm tired of the waters. I'm tired of the troubles. I'm just tired of it. And then today I was just like feeling like a sense of like loneliness. Because I prayed it. Like, when you pray for stuff, you gotta be very careful what you pray for. You gotta be very careful what you pray for. Like, when you're praying for God to remove people and for him to allow you to let things go, like, you're gonna have a time. But if you're not connected to the person, then you may not. But for me, it's just been a time, like, I just been having this real sense of loneliness. And it's just like, I know that I'm not alone, because I know that God is always with me. I know it's gonna always be me and him. But here on earth, I just been having this sense of loneliness. And it's just like, I don't know what it is. One thing I do pray for all the time is, if I'm ever a burden, or if I'm ever too much for someone in their life, then I pray that they're able to let me go. Like, if you feel like I'm too much for you, or if you feel like my energy is too heavy, or if you feel like I'm just like my I don't want to say aura, but if you feel like my presence in your life is too much, by all means, let me go. Let me go. Like, I will be so proud of you to let me go. But in that, it just be like, well, what am I doing? Because I feel like I'm a good person. I show up for people. I may not show up in like all the ways. Like, I may not go to all of the events, but I show up in the ways that I can. I feel like I'm a good person to the core. I just feel like I'm a good person. In feeling that, it's just been like, I just been having people drop out of my life left and right, and people that's been near and dear to me. And it's just been a hard thing to swallow. Like, it's just been a hard pill to swallow for me. And I'm just trying to navigate that, and it's been really hard. Like, I'm just trying to navigate. Like, I know, like, if they're out of my life, it gotta be for a reason, or maybe it's just for a moment or a season. But I just don't want that revolving door. People keep coming in and out of my life. But I also know the importance of like letting people go when you need to. So, like I said, if I'm ever somebody that you need to let go, by all means, let me go. But in that, on my end, I have talked about me being a very sensitive person and an emotional person. So it's just been like a hard thing, and it's just like, I've really been having to deal with life by myself, and I'm trying not to cry. So like, I don't know why I always get on this camera, press record, and start crying. Like, I always said I would never cry on social media. Like, I would never be one of those people. But it's just been hard, bro. Like, when I go through things, like, I want to tell people, I want to like when I be going through things in my life, I be wanting to have somebody to talk about that stuff with. And I just feel like I don't have that. And I know I have God. I know I have that. And I'm just, people say like you shouldn't tell everybody everything, and people say you shouldn't tell everybody everything and all of this stuff. But I feel like when you find your person, when you're locked in with somebody, like why not, like why not like, but I understand that because sometimes you can make people your idol instead of seeking God's face. And God does not like false idols. I understand that. I get that wholeheartedly because I feel like it was a point in my life where I started going to people, to people first, then I would like, rather than talking to God, because I wasn't talking to God at all. So I do get that. I understand it 100%. And I also feel like maybe this is him like showing me that you're not able to handle both at this moment. You're not able to handle friends or relationship at the same time. You're seeking my face. And so I get it. So I do get God not wanting you to make other people your idol or going to them before you go to him. So I get that 100%. And like I said, I feel like I was doing that at one point, going to people first instead of going to, like I wasn't going to God at all. So I really feel like maybe this is him telling me you're not ready for that at this moment, but it still doesn't take away from the grief of losing people. Like whatever it is that's going on this season, I need to feel it, because for years I just been pushing things under the rug. Like if I wasn't talking to anybody anymore, then that was just, oh well. Like it will always be me not talking to people anymore. Like, it will always be me. Like I don't say always. I feel like sometimes like through the years, like you just grow apart from people and one day y'all just stop calling each other. Or you just stop answering your phone. So like a lot of times that's what the case was for me. But like I feel like the older I get, the more I feel like it is important to have like girlfriends and homegirls. Like I do feel like that's a very important thing to have, because like I feel like those relationships are like getaways from real life shit. Like I honestly feel like that, and to lose that or to not have that anymore is like heartbreaking. But I do understand like maybe like my person will come, like maybe I just haven't found my person yet. Maybe I just need to travel, do other things to find my person, or just I don't know, just get out and live. So I don't know, I'm just like going through a lot of shit in my head mentally that's like I feel like it's taking a toll on my body. And that's a real thing too. Like I really didn't understand how people like mental, like I really didn't understand how your mental could take over your body, but that's a real thing. Like however you feel is how, like however you feel mentally, it's gonna eventually show on your body. Like it's gonna take a toll on your body. And I feel like that's a combination of why I feel the way I feel today. It's just been a lot of reflection for me this week, and it's just a lot of like understanding, like maybe like some people that I thought was gonna be in my life forever are just not gonna be in my life forever, and I gotta understand that and come to grips with that and know that that's okay to grieve those people as well. It may be a good thing, or it may not even be a permanent situation. It may just be I just need a period of time away from each other, and like eventually I'll get back. But I can say for me, it's just feeling like however it goes, it's just however it goes. But I'm still grieving those relationships. Like I told y'all last week, I had a conversation with my dad and his wife, and I said I didn't like, I went in with the understanding and with the perception in my mind, like however this goes, just however it go. Like if he wouldn't change and make a change after, then that's great. But if he don't, then that's okay. And I don't know if I was lying to myself, but this week I just was like, okay, he ain't did nothing different yet. Or maybe I didn't give him some time. So I don't know, because the conversation is new, so I can't expect people to just change like that. But then I also got to understand that life goes on, and you can't like live harboring over like you can't keep living harboring over the bad shit. Like you can't just keep living harboring over that. And I just gotta understand I really gotta let stuff go. When I say I'm gonna let stuff go, like that just needs to be it. And I need to follow through with the tools that I have to, you know, help me let those things go. And help me not to harbor over old things. Like it's just been a lot of shit out. Like men, like that's a whole other conversation. These men, like that's a whole other thing. I've been thinking about that as well, and it's just I feel like at this point I'm in my late 20s. In a few years, this year I'll be 28, and in a few years I'll be 30. Like I'm battling with, do I want a man right now, or is this just God's way of like telling me to just, you know, focus on the career stuff? And like I have never been by myself for this long. I've only been in one relationship, and that was when I was like a preteen teenager. So for me to go through my adult years not having nobody like that's connected to me, like that's new. And I'm still not, even though it's been a while, like I'm still not, you know, I don't know, like I'm still not, I don't know, like I'm a lover girl, y'all. Like I'm a real lover girl. Like I love love. Like I love all things love. I love watching people in love. Like I just love everything about love. Genuine love. Genuine love. And no matter what people do to me, no matter how much things I go through, like I'm still a lover girl. I'm gonna always be a lover girl. And I'm just feeling like maybe this is my point. This is my time to be pouring all that love into myself. And so maybe that's a thing. Like maybe I'm not meant to be with anybody right now, but one thing about me, I catch feelings, and that's another problem. Like I know how these men be. I ain't gonna call them by their name, but I know how these men be, and I still be wanting to pursue something. Like knowing how they are, like knowing I may never get the full you. I'm not gonna cry. For years, when I was in a relationship, for years, I was getting cheated on. Like he dogged me the fuck. I laugh about it now, but it's just like that man dogged me the out. Like, and he had a nerve. Like somebody told him it would be like somebody bright. Somebody had this good idea to tell him to just tell her all the stuff that you done, lay it out on the table, and then y'all move forward with that. And not my ditzy ass. Like after this nigga told me all this shit about all this shit he done did with all these females, and that probably wasn't all of it. That probably wasn't even all of it. That probably wasn't even all of it. I still had the nerve to still be with, like, accept that. Like that I just pray whenever I have my daughter, I'm able to be the woman to show her like what not to be and what not to do and what not to accept. Because right now I don't feel like I'm a good example of that. I've taken a lot from men just to feel like some kind of I don't know why I always cry. I've taken a lot from men just to feel some kind of love. And that's why I also feel like it's so important for you men to be there for your daughters, because if you don't, like, they just gonna go out here looking for any and everything out of anybody. They gonna go for anything. They gonna be green as hell. Like, they just gonna go for it. They going for anything. Like, if you have a daughter, like, kids, period, because you need to show your sons how to treat women. Be there for them. Show them how to love people. Show them the right and wrong way. Even something as simple as showing them how to hold a door open for a female, or showing your man, like, whenever you get of age, this is how your man should treat you. This is how your husband should treat you. Don't go having no kids before you ready, or have them with the wrong one. Granted, you can still have a baby with the wrong one and not know it, because men don't show. They usually don't show. They don't play their real hand until after you have kids. That's just what it be. And sometimes they still show you and you still be like me and still have the kids. So it's just like, you just gotta know what to go for and what not to go for, and set your standards. Like, set your standards, set your boundaries. Write a list of things of what you're going for and what you're not going for, and teach your daughters that. Teach your kids that. Because men, y'all need boundaries too. Don't be letting these women walk y'all like a dog. Because that be going on too. So it could go for both. But I'm speaking on women right now, because this is about me. This is about me. And I'm talking to women right now. So, like, I just feel like I was just going for anything, like, just to feel some type of love. That's why I stayed for so long the way I did, and I just took anything, because I feel like that was love. Like, I feel like he loved me. I feel like he was the only person that would see me for who I was. But at the end of the day, like, that's just not what it was. Like, everything that I told him, he told, like, everything that I told him about my parents, like, when I had deep conversations with him about them and tell them what was going on, like, he went back and said it to them. Like, I just feel like that like, I feel like that was just, like, for a long time, maybe not want to tell anybody anything. But, like, you just gotta learn who to give you just gotta learn who's for what, who's for who and who's for what. You gotta have these, you gotta know what to place people in your life. Like, I can tell this person stuff because I know it's not gonna get back. I can't tell you that because you got a big mouth. Those people, I don't feel like you need to have around you anyway. If I gotta worry about what you, like, if I gotta worry about my stuff getting back to somebody else, like, I can't have you around me. Like, I can't do that. Like, I just can't do that. But then again, like, you just gotta, like I said, you gotta know who's for who, who's for what. Like, you gotta place your friends in, like, different groups. Or if you just have, like, I've always just had one friend at a time. One close friend at a time, I say. I still got my homegirls, but I've always had one close friend at a time. So that's just, like, I never had to worry about, nothing crazy. Like, at this age now, like, when I was younger, yeah, so it was always something. But at this age, like, nah. But I don't know. This week has just been, like, and it's crazy because I haven't felt anything till today. Like, everything just started hitting me today. I don't know what it is, but everything just started hitting me today. But I don't know, like, I know I'm gonna be okay. I know I'm gonna be okay. It's just going through the process to get to me being okay. That's just what's taking me through the ringer. That's what's taking me to the ringer, and, like, making sure that I show up. Making sure that I show up, and knowing that it's not always about the money. It's not always about, getting to the success part, because that's going to come. If it's for you, it's going to come. And I'm claiming that it's for me. So I know it will come. But knowing it's not all about the success part. It's not always about being on go. It's not always about that. Like, get you some rest too. Like, get you some love. Get you some hugs. Get you some real core people, real good people, real stand-up people around you. Like, it's so much more to life than hustling all the time. Like, the money is gonna come. And this is me telling myself that the money is gonna come. The money is gonna come as long as you put in work. As long as like you set in your days, like I said, set in your days, your set schedules to do what you need to do so the next, like, so you can have your rest days. As long as you're doing that, then I feel like you're gonna be fine. Like, it's not always about being on go all the time. That's burnout. Like, that's causing you not to be there for your kids. And I feel like for up to now, I'm just now starting to show up for my son, and he's about to be 10 years old. And it's just like that's just been because like I've just been the sole parent. So it's always been me. Like, even when we're in the same house, I'm still working. Like, it's been none of us spending time. So like I try to, of course, like do little things, like take him to AirU or a jumping place or something fun, but it's not consistent. It's not, like, I don't know, but I do intend to do better. Not just for him, for myself, so I can be better for him and for other people, and so whoever I need to be, whoever is going to be in my life, so I can show up for them in the way that they need me to. So yeah, like, I feel like that's my goal for this week. That's my goal. I'm going to set aside some days out the month or a day out the month to get some self-care in, so I can show up, so my battery be fully charged, so I can pour into other people's cups and, stuff like that. So yeah. So I don't know. Get you some people around you that's gonna reciprocate your energy too. Get you some people around you that's gonna reciprocate your energy. Like, that's very important. That's very important. But that's all for my venting session today. I just need to get all that out. I need to get that cry out, because, like, I don't know, like, this episode, my son really inspired me, so shout out to him. Like, he inspired me to keep going, because I really wasn't going to record today. I was going to record tomorrow, but if I would have recorded, if I would have waited, I probably wouldn't have recorded. I probably wouldn't record tomorrow. I probably wouldn't. Like, I probably would have pushed it off to Friday, but yeah, like, get you some people around you that love you for you, who love the fuck out of you. That's very important. That's very important. Get you some people around you who love the fuck out of you, and, like, who have no problem with reciprocating your energy, who have no problem with. Also, another good thing, like I said, I think I said in the episode back, like, when you're talking to people, like, when I say get you some people who, reciprocate your energy, also make sure that they have the mental capacity to accept what you have to say. Because, like, they're not gonna always have good days. Like, you gotta understand that. And you really gotta understand that they're not gonna always have the capacity to accept what you have to say, or to, add on to, what they got going on. So allow them to, vent if they need to, or ask them first, like, are you okay today? Do you have the mental capacity to accept what I have to say? Like, to accept, like, to hear what I'm, what I'm going through, or what I got going on. And if they don't, like, just wait for another day. Like, journal it out for that day, and, like, just wait till next day or whenever they're okay to, jump back in the groove. But, like, it's okay to have those breaks. It's okay to have those breaks. It's okay to have those breaks. And I'm telling myself that too. Like, you ain't gotta talk every day. Like, you ain't gotta, like, I'm not a person who feels like you gotta talk every day. Like, we can talk every other day, but I feel like I need to hear from you. Like, that's something that I want. I want to hear from you, like, at least once or twice a week. Like, if you don't have the capacity to talk to me, like, at least every other day, or, every day. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm just praying for the people that I want in my life, and I'm praying for the people, like, I'm praying, I'm just trying to grasp in my mind, like, what do I want the people to show up for me to look like? Like, who I want that to be, like, what do I want that to look like? What characteristics do they have that I want them to have, you know, like just paint out the picture of like what I want people to be for me. Because I'm always like, I don't know, I feel like I'm a good person. So I want that in return, you know? So I don't know, but that's all for this TED Talk. Thank you guys so much for listening to me then. I probably already said that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was like so good for me today. I probably am going to take a nap after this because I'm going to edit this video and I'm going to take a nap because I feel so bad. But hopefully today I'll be good after today. But thank you again. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Follow at Finding Her Way podcast on Instagram and at Finding Her Way with 2 R's on Instagram. Follow me at Zakia Monet on Instagram. Like, comment, share, and subscribe with a friend that you feel like you may need to hear this message or may need to see this video. Thank you guys again. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed and took at least one thing, if any, from this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share us with a friend you know. Follow us on Instagram at Finding Her Way Pod and send us letters or questions to askfhw@gmail.com. We hope to hear from you in the next episode.